So my name's Alice and I live at the protection camp at the top of the hill. I was going to just talk really briefly about what the camp has been like, why it was set up and what we can go on to do now. So I'm a bit of a latecomer to the camp. I arrived in April and I found this incredible structure that people had built, which many of you may have seen, the fortress in the woods. Huge, imposing, an entire house with rooms, kitchens, living areas, etc., etc. And it was the result of an enormous effort from this really, really diverse community of people, not your typical activists, just people who live in the area, who care, people who've come from further afield because they're just so outraged about what's happening here. And they built this structure together, as a woman said on Facebook, built of pallets and passion, which I thought described it really well. And as well as the structures, the fortress and the tunnel system, you had a community which was at times quite crazy, at times could drive you completely mad, but also is family and feels very much like home. So while we were there, it was quite like the blockade that was described in the film. We had a security rota, we had our little radios that make you feel very important, walking around with the radio on your hip, alerting each other of vehicles that turn up. We had absolutely incredible support from the local community, and this was food. I know you said eating whatever people bring, but the food we ate was bloody amazing. Everyone's, and clothes, moral support, equipment. This is a community affair, despite the disgusting mafia-style legal threats from the oil and gas company, which they were the reason I came. Basically, I was so outraged by it. It cannot stand. Yeah. So we were happily digging and building and making beautiful things when on Midsummer's Day, early in the morning, our early shift radioed through to us in the fortress to say there were people coming, and we just got into our positions. The fortress was surrounded by what felt like a sort of 100 men in black. There were no police because it was a private eviction. That was quite intimidating. And then people began to arrive because the camp wasn't just a group of activists, it was embedded in this community, and people showed up and showed their support, and that was really, really very beautiful. It took them 2 days to evict us. It got a little bit of media attention. We tried to talk to the people who were carrying out the eviction and ask them why they were doing what they were doing, which is essentially forcibly removing people on behalf of an oil and gas company that had no social licence in the area. And I think in some cases we did get through to them, in some cases we didn't. But what next? The camp has moved, so we're still there. We've moved across the road. We're much more visible where we are now. We can see all the cyclists going past, the walkers, the cars. The support is continuing to be incredible. In fact, we have more people coming to see us than ever and asking, what can we do? One thing a lot of people say is that I really, really want to help. I want to do what you're doing, but I can't get arrested. And hopefully something that film has conveyed is that there are a lot of steps between standing there with a placard and between getting arrested. People can show their opposition, they can physically try and prevent this industry from ruining the land without necessarily having to get arrested, just by stepping a little bit out of your comfort zone and encouraging the people that you know to do the same. So there's going to come a point when they are going to take down the trees in that area. Okay, they're forestry trees, but to take down those beautiful mature trees for an oil rig is disgusting, and that's going to happen. They're going to try and do that, and there's going to come a point when they try and bring the drilling rig up the hill, and at that point I would like you, your friends, your family, if you feel comfortable, to come and witness the people who are going to try and stop that, or to try and stop it yourselves. You don't have to get arrested, you don't have to do anything that makes you feel in danger, but please, please, we need the whole community to stop that.
I'll be there.
Right. So yeah, if while we're waiting, because that's not going to happen immediately, hopefully, the things that you can do are you can raise awareness. So please tell your friends, your family, I'm sure you have already, but maybe your colleagues, maybe people you meet socially, your neighbours. I know Voice for Leith Hill were doing a street-by-street survey at one point, as you saw in this film. If anyone would like to get involved with telling their neighbours on a more systematic basis, knocking on doors, getting people aware. So we've got an email sign-up sheet out there, and if people sign up to that, then hopefully we'll try and get you a summary of all the different groups and the different actions you can take to support it. So the main action, if you do one thing tonight, is just to sign up on that sign-up sheet. But yes, there are Facebook groups. There's also websites and Twitter you can follow. You can visit the camp, which is just opposite the entrance to Europa's land, the land that they've taken. We have events there, so we're going to be having a few events in the coming weeks to prepare for Ride London, which we're going to use to raise awareness again. But we'll be banner making, that kind of thing. Yeah, so it's coming up quite soon. So possibly either this Saturday or next Saturday, if anyone wants to help.
Are we going to chalk on the roads about fracking?
Could do. Yeah, that's an idea. No one's going to stop you if you want to.
Do that for the cycle races all the time, if we can get helicopter shots.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing that no one's going to do is disrupt the race, because obviously we don't want to disturb it. One other thing I'll just mention quickly that you can do is to contact the suppliers to Europa, so they're not operating in isolation. They have got other companies that are supplying them with equipment, providing services to them. We identify these on the Facebook group, and also we'll try and get it out via email. They, especially if they're local, are likely to respond to people politely asking them why they are supporting this project that has no support from the local community. So that's another thing you can do.
A number of them have actually pulled out, haven't they, because of...
Yeah, Frank Skips, wasn't it? Frank Skips, complained. And,
So, I think that's me done. The main things to do is just sign up on the email, and then there's the two Facebook groups. There's Voice for Leith Hill, and there's the Leith Hill Protection Camp.
And there's Brockham Oil Watch as well.
And Brockham Oil Watch.